Creatively Cara here, and for this video we will be taking a look at my November plan with me. I decided to go with a fall theme for this. I know that's sort of cliche and probably overdone, but I just really felt that it was what I wanted to do for this month. I love the colors of fall, and I made sure I incorporated that into my setup here today. So I started with a wreath on the cover page with November in the middle. I feel like that's a pretty standard cover page, but you know, sometimes they can turn out really pretty depending on how they go. So I must warn people, you know, I'm not the best artist. I like to try, and I keep trying my best, but I think it's important that you just do what you can. Don't worry about what other people are doing and make it your own. I wanted to go and add in color into my leaves, but I didn't want to just color them in with a marker. So I'm using one of my acrylic blocks for my stamps, and I colored with a marker on that, and then I'm using my Pentel aqua brush to then pick up the color and paint it into the different leaves and cherries on here. So I did end up mixing the colors a little bit as I go, and you'll even see I mixed the yellow with the orange. I just felt that it wasn't quite giving me the color that I wanted with the water diluting it a little bit. So I think that helped the leaves turn out to be just how I wanted them to be. I really love the Pentel aqua brush. I think it can quickly help you spice up a drawing or a picture or something really quick, just with mixing in some colors and splashing it on, and it's super easy to do. So I will have links to all of the supplies that I used today in the description box down below, so if you're interested in this pen, feel free to go ahead and check that out. So I'm just sliding the cover page back into my Discbound bullet journal here. If you are unfamiliar with the Discbound bullet journal system, I did just create a new video on that. You can check it out in the upper right hand corner here about how I put that all together. Decided to go with a standard calendar layout for this month. Just wanted to be a little bit more simplistic in my monthly setup. Sometimes when using the Discbound system, it is easier to just take the pages out real quick to draw in what you need to. I generally actually leave the pages in, you know, when I'm writing in it day to day, but when I do set up my journal, I tend to end up taking the pages out just because it gives me a little bit more room to work with, and I think that's perfectly fine because of how easy it is to take them in and out. So just adding in my header here, I did run out of room. I always run out of room. I'm not that great at measuring the distance before I write, but it's okay. I really didn't mind. I think it still looks good. Just divided up the weeks here, and I wanted to add that kind of wreath style to the bottom of this page as well. So just adding in my watercolor here right now. Using that same mixing technique I used before, because again, it really gets you that color that you want. So it's super fun to just play around with it and see what kind of colors you can create with this aqua brush. All right, so that page is all done. We're gonna move on to the next one, and I usually do like a brain drop or something kind of page, but I just wanted to make a notes page this time around. I don't know, I know it's very similar, but I wanted to use some washi tape because I don't know about you, but I have a huge washi tape collection that just kind of sits around. So I'm trying to challenge myself in using more of my crafting supplies. So I had a fall themed washi tape and I paired it with another red washi tape, and I think that turned out really nicely. So I'm going to do half of the page as notes and the other half is going to be for my habit tracker. So I'm trying out a different layout. I've tried some varying layouts before, you know, the standard, just create that one giant box of grid, but I've seen a lot of people doing this style now, so I wanted to give it a try, and I'm trying to be simplistic in what I actually track because I find I tend to not use my habit and mood trackers too much. I do really well for like the first half of the month and then I'll give up. So I'm going to really try to utilize that this month, and I'm just gonna track 4 things instead of like 10. I feel like that's a little bit more realistic, so I just picked the top things that I wanted to cover, which is generally, you know, taking my water intake, vitamins. I think I wanted to read, and I don't remember. Oh, no eating out, I think was my last one. But just again, keeping it simple there. And adding in more washi to kind of just separate the 2 sections of this page. And I do like to use a ruler to kind of cut off the tape just because it helps it give it a little bit more of a straight end. I don't know if anyone else tries this or if you have any other techniques that you use. I'd be curious to know in the comments below. And then just adding in the titles for each section here. Okay, I did add a couple stickers on that. My camera cut off before I could finish, but just touched it up a little bit. So now we're going to move on to my mood tracker, and I had found this image actually on Pinterest. I'm sorry, I'm not super creative in the sense where I create my own things. I just kind of find things for inspiration and make it my own. But I think that that's always a good way to kind of, you know, especially if you're stuck and not sure what to do. But I loved this. I have been into Zentangling. This isn't quite Zentangling, I'd say, but it's definitely got a pattern to the tree that I really, really liked. So I wanted to mimic that for my mood tracker this month. It took me a long time to do, so I'm kind of gonna like skip around in how much I show you, otherwise we would be here all day and we don't want that. But I tried to show you the beginning of how I got it all started here. So now you can see the patterns kind of coming in. And the trees just entangling with each other. I really liked the entangling trees. I thought that was a really, really cool effect. Alright, so again, I kind of skipped over most of that drawing, but you get the idea. I felt that it needed to be outlined because it was kind of hard to see where all the branches were, and it was a great idea. I love how it turned out. Okay, and then just added a border and to cut it off so I could have my header on top, and then my key on the bottom for what color I'm going to color in the different leaves here. So I'm just kind of outlining the leaves. I outlined it in brown because I'm going to color them in with various fall colors, basically the ones that I used for the wreath. So I just wanted to make sure that they had all a standard outlined color, and the brown seemed to work best for that. So just adding my header here. This is a Stedler dual end brush marker, again linked down below if you're interested in that. But then I wanted to add in my key at the bottom. So I'm just using the fall colors that I had picked out before. And then I think the video cuts off before you get to see it, but I do add in the smiley faces there, you can see at the bottom. But now this is something new that I wanted to try. I love Sudokus. I don't know if anyone else there loves Sudokus. If you do, let me know in the comments below. I hope I'm not the only one, but they're just so relaxing for me. So I thought it would be really cool to cut a couple out and put them into my bullet journal for me to do during the month. Of course, it won't take me that long to do one, but still, you know, when you're bored or when you just need something to do or to relax, I thought it would be nice to have on hand. So I added those in, and I used the Tombow I actually forget what the official title of it is called. I will link to it down below, but it's a tape dispenser, the dual-ended tape, so it's super awesome, and I decorated the page with washi tape, but using an orange color this time around. So last but not least, we are going to set up my weekly spread for the first week of November / the last few days of October. I wanted to, I don't know, the tree came back to my mind, and so I thought I would use the tree to kind of divide up the different sections of the day. It didn't really end up looking like a tree per se in the end, I guess, because the branches are sort of awkward, but you get the idea, and I think that it was fine in how it divided it out. So I'm just kind of outlining it right now, but I'm going to go back through and add in that pattern. I did kind of start off with just drawing circles, like the different designs within the tree, before adding in the different wavelengths of it. So again, this took a little while to do, so I'm just going to kind of jump through setting it out. You can kind of have fun with it. I mean, the pattern is so simple that you can make it your own, and if you mess up, it almost really doesn't even matter because you just can't really tell. So have fun with it if you do end up mimicking this. If you do end up using any of the spreads or the setups that I used today, please tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see if anyone found any of these interesting and your recreations of it. You can tag me and find me on Instagram at CreativelyCara. So almost done. This took a little while, like I said. I definitely showed you quite a bit of it. Now we're just going to go in and add in my titles for each of the sections. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sometimes I combine the weekends. It really depends on what my weekly layout looks like. But this one, it is separated. And then I just add the header to the top so I know kind of what days of the week this is. And here's where I incorporate more stickers. I transitioned from the Happy Planner to this Discbound bullet journal system. I do have a video on that if you want to check that out as well, but I have lots of Happy Planner stickers now. Oh my gosh. So I found that I had a few pages of fall and kind of Halloween, so I wanted to use those up before we hit December. So here we are. I'm just kind of placing them wherever I find they fit okay. Adding a trick-or-treat sticker in there because of course we're gonna go trick-or-treating. I've got a little 2-year-old girl and she's gonna dress up as Red Riding Hood, I think. So that'll be really fun. I'm excited about that. And once it's all finished, we just put it right back in and voila. Well, I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video with me today. I hope you enjoyed what you did see. Well, you can check out this other video or subscribe to my channel if you have not done that yet. And please, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button down below as well. Until then, I will see you guys all next time. Bye!